For millions of people, faith fits into a very specific 90-minute box on Sunday morning. We ask the human spirit, mind, and body to draw an entire week's worth of nourishment from one highly scheduled, time-crunched event. But if you wind the clock back 3 millennia, you realize this tightly packed weekly schedule is a massive historical anomaly. Christian history actually contains an unbroken blueprint for a completely different approach. It's a 24/7 continuous spiritual ecosystem. The continuous church model revives this ancient architecture, providing a 24-hour environment designed for human flourishing. This diagram shows the scale of King David's musical mandate around 1000 BC. He hired 4,000 Levite musicians and divided them into 24 rotating shift blocks to maintain a continuous 24/7 chorus of praise. Centuries later, the early apostolic church rejected the idea of a Sunday-only faith. They opted instead for a daily lifestyle that engaged the spirit, nourished the mind, and cared for the physical body. To nourish the mind, they committed to rigorous, daily theological teaching. The Apostle Paul famously spent 2 years in Ephesus, debating in the School of Tyrannus. The School of Tyrannus was a public hall where teachers debated daily. Paul utilized this space every day from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. To care for the body, they practiced daily hospitality. They shared agape feasts, communal meals meant to strengthen fraternal bonds, eating together from house to house. The early church grew rapidly because it integrated all 3 elements into a daily, inhabited lifestyle, rather than a weekly appointment. As the broader Roman Church formalized and slowed its pace over the centuries, this 24/7 blueprint moved to the fringes of society. It was preserved by an order of monks called the Akoimete, which translates to the sleepless ones. They implemented laus perennis, or perpetual prayer, between 400 and 1000 AD. Outposts of continuous prayer lit up across Dark Age Europe, reaching Switzerland and Ireland. Choirs of monks operated in precise, overlapping shifts, ensuring the singing never stopped for centuries. While the rest of the continent slept through the Dark Ages, these monasteries functioned as arks, keeping the continuous spiritual ecosystem alive. The practice eventually broke out of the monasteries. In 1727, a leader named Count Zinzendorf and the Moravian community in Herrnhut, Saxony, reignited the blueprint. The Moravians committed to a 24/7 prayer watch that ran without a single interruption for over 100 years, directly launching modern global missions. This continuous DNA bled into the industrial era. It directly inspired Charles Spurgeon's underground boiler room, a literal basement where hundreds prayed continuously while he preached upstairs. By the 20th and 21st centuries, the concept expanded in scale. We see this physical dedication in the South Korean prayer mountains, large retreat centers dedicated to continuous night and day prayer, and the International House of Prayer movement in Kansas City. After millennia of surviving on the fringes of faith, the 24/7 fire has returned to the global mainstream. But there is still a lingering historical problem. For thousands of years, unceasing worship, daily teaching, and radical hospitality have largely existed in isolated silos. The continuous church model synthesizes this 3,000-year timeline. Room 1 targets the spirit with continuous worship. Room 2 targets the mind with daily teaching. Room 3 targets the body, restoring the agape feast. The open schedule removes the pressure of the fixed start time. One person might drop in for 5 minutes of prayer, while another stays for 5 hours of music, teaching, and fellowship. The continuous church model functions as a living synthesis of these historical eras. It transforms the church into a permanent, inhabited ecosystem.